A lot of people are not ready to sacrifice their lives like that to live in a life of misery, poverty, and continue and targeting, being targeted by what the Arab world would say, Adu Allah, Adu Allah, Adu Deen, Adu, yeah, Adu Allah, enemies of Allah, enemies of the Deen, or this, that, or whatever. A lot of people don't want to live like that, man. It's a miserable life. Even like I said, like myself, if you have no links that you know of, see, the thing is, you're kept in the space if you don't have money for an investigator. And then you don't want an investigator that's compromised by the nation, the national security or military, or what they call the deep state structure. You don't want an investigator colored or tainted by that, or that's easily intimidated or in collusion in any way with that. You don't want that. And what happens is, um, and I lost my thoughts. Is that I can see the guy's name too, man. I was thinking about I worked with Steve Jobs. I can see his name right now, Steve Wombich or Steve Makovich or something. Yeah, something I can see it. Um, but you don't want an investigator that's caught up with that. But you want to find out what the reason is why your life, why you are kept not in the know. You don't know. Like they say, oh, aren't you connected with extremism? Do you know this? Who you know? Why you going to this person? See, it could be somebody that's on their radar for higher or worse things that you don't know, but you may have had a coffee with that person. You might have sat in the cafe. You might have been friendly with the person just as a fellow Muslim, and just because behaviorally you don't want to rebuff anyone or stay away from anyone that they may cause you trouble. You don't want to be offensive with anybody. You don't want to be offensive with anybody. So in doing that, in being friendly and not really having control of your social circles, like wealthy people do. Wealthy people have very tight control. One of the controls is wealthier people are in vehicles. They're not taking public transport. When they eat in private or in places that are expensive, where it's exclusivity is of the nature of itself, of expensive places or higher priced places or cafes. You don't just walk over to people and sit at their tables. There's a culture of that table is only for that person who's paying for it, especially in our Western culture. You don't say, "Can I join you?" No, you don't do that, especially in high price places or in their own office. They eat and they do things in controlled spaces of their own. We don't have that ability being poor. So you interact with anybody, and there may be an intel operation or a stakeout, a gathering operation going on by any of the bureaus of the Five Eyes countries, and then you sit with somebody with a cafe, and then snaps and shots are taken of you when you're sitting, whatever, with places, and you don't know what the hell is going on. And then these lists are being created. Like, it is very infamous, the list that the England has over the Terror Watch, to be on the list of 3,500 people. That's a very infamous list, man. 3,500 out of millions of people in the UK. You're on the list of 3,500 people. Very, very bad. That's a very, very bad list to be on. A very, very bad list to be on. You don't want to be on a list like that. You really don't want to be on a list like that. 3,500 people, man. Just like the FBI director Mueller, a fellow New Yorker, by the way, but he was Marine Corps. Hard people, Marines. They could be real hard. And he said that there's only 80 something people that they really were concerned about in the United States out of the hundreds of millions of people. 80 something people, only 80 something. That's a terrible list to have been on the list. So the question would be, how did the 80 something people even get to that designation on that list? Who were they in touch with? Where did they go to have themselves put on that list? See, and a lot of Muslims, I noticed there's been a targeting maxim or paradigm of darker complexion Muslims. Once they learned and they experimented with me, they learned that darker skinned Muslims don't engender the same support as, like I told you, the Mahara of Canada. He's a whiter skinned Syrian doctor. Omar Khadr, also I think Jordanian or Palestinian ancestry, who's getting an $8 million payout. It's like a sign, and the connection is, I remember a Sufi, secular, clean-shaven Muslim of New York who was Latino in ancestry, Hispanic, Latino brother told me and yelled at me that don't marry any women with children. Stay the fuck away from women with children. I remember he said that, as if he caught a glimpse of something about me getting involved with a woman with children, and that being the defining stamp and crux that will seal my fate with my life, because the anger that surrounds the view of the way I appropriately treated this woman, or interacted with this woman, mainly because she was of redheadish Celtic Irish ancestry, but Canadian, and they took offense that, look, he impregnated this woman and then he left her. But I didn't. I was trying to go to the U.S., which I can belabor the point all over again, to work, because I was legitimately allowed to work in the U.S., thinking that I had a chance, not knowing that there were operations being conducted against me. I didn't know it. When I used to go by SeaTac Airport, and I remember there used to be a black man who was a FBI official or whatever, or some other agency. He used to sit there and he used to watch me in the car. Back in 2004, I had no idea what the hell was going on. I had no idea what the hell was going on. Only because I like living overseas. See, so a lot of these darker Muslims, like the Ethiopian that was tortured, right? Ethiopian ancestry, American, tortured. And then somebody's Somali ancestry. A lot of people go to these Muslim majority, especially Arabic countries, and they think that they can enjoy being Muslim. Some of them maybe had rubbed shoulders or connected with more hardline elements of the Salafism clique, but the people of the Salafist clique they sometimes were people that were educated, past tense, in the United States, and then became more entrenched when they went back, or went back there when it was popular during the anti-Soviet. You notice there's always this anti-Russian pivot of the U.S., and the U.S. supported that at that time.